Okay, good morning, everybody. We are here with the Stoebners.
Good morning, Dusty.
Good morning.
Thank you. And we are going to get to know the Stoebners a little bit better this week. And I am just excited to be here with both of you because one of the reasons that I didn't realize until recently, it's Arlene's birthday. So happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. I have a little story to add to that.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I have an identical twin sister,
Oh,
and so of course it's her birthday too. And we have a brother that's 2 years older than us, and he got the grandest birthday gift because we were born on his birthday.
oh,
So he had two gifts right
yes.
there on the spot.
I wonder if he thought of them as gifts at the moment that he found out about them.
At age 2, he was probably excited for a little
Yeah,
while.
probably
Especially when
was.
he got changed diapers. I'm sure that was.
Or bring bottles, or
Yeah.
you know, take care of his sisters. I'm sure my son was 2 also when his brother was born, and he was very excited. He really enjoyed it. So, happy birthday!
Thank you.
All right. So, when did you become a member of our church, and what influenced you to join?
Guess I'll take the first part of the question and you can take the second part. We joined approximately in 1974. We had been to several churches doing our Sunday inquiries, wondering what kind of matched us the best. And when we went to the UCC, Reverend Orland Mitchell was our pastor at that time, and he just kind of pulled us in. He was just a real pleasant person and had a sense of humor, and it just was the good fit.
Good.
Yeah, he had a great sense of humor.
I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super. And the I think one of the things that attracted maybe both of us is we enjoy, not that we're good at it, but we enjoy great music.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty well influenced us to go back the following Sunday so we could hear this choir again. And so I think that was
Hook.
the hook.
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little cliche.
So, did you move here from somewhere else?
Actually, we got married in 1970, and I was teaching here at Lincoln School in Yankton. Alan had a couple of years, a year and a half of school left, so we planted ourselves here, and here we are. That was
Okay.
since 1970.
Okay. Where did you come from?
Well, my family roots are actually in Tyndall, and then as a 9-year-old we moved to a farm in Delmont,
Okay.
and so my parents farmed, and that was the Delmont area is where we pretty much grew up and attended elementary, high
Mhm.
school,
Mm-hmm.
and from there, college. I graduated from, and I'm saying we because my sister's always a part of this conversation. Graduated from Southern, which is in Springfield, and then got my master's at the University
Okay.
of Vermilion.
Cool.
And I also graduated from Southern. But anyway, I grew up in Tripp,
Okay.
which was a rival to Delmont.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. But Delmont had cute girls. And so,
Well, flattery will get you where nowhere.
so that's kind of the background to that is Arlene had worked at a Dairy Queen,
Ah.
and I loved food. So
Not past tense, it's
That
also
was,
present tense.
that was one of the attractions when we had gone to different areas, and I was actually in high school when Arlene was, she's older than I am.
Oh.
So I was in high school and she was working her way into earning money for college.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was, I guess that was the attraction.
So you met her at Dairy Queen?
Yes. The first time I saw her was when I was about a sixth grader.
Oh my
And
goodness.
she doesn't know this.
Okay.
I don't.
We were over at Delmont at a baseball game, and my cousin and I chasing baseballs and whatever, foul balls and whatever. I saw these two girls sitting in front of a car. They looked alike. And so I went past her about 3 times and going, boy, you're a cute girl. Or you two are twins. And so that's actually the first time I had seen them. And that was Arlene. Strange.
Oh.
But the Dairy Queen thing came about, the Dairy Queen was on the outskirts of Tripp, so we traveled the 10 miles to work at the Dairy Queen. And
So both you and your sister
that's
worked
right,
at the
yeah,
Dairy
we were the only 2 employees, so we put in about 12 hours of work every day for the summer to earn some college money, and
2 summers.
2 summers, yeah. And Alan found out that foot-long hot dogs were pretty cheap at our Dairy Queen, so he frequented it
All right.
primarily. for that
So
reason.
when did you ask her out? I mean, what was your first date?
The first date, I believe
Good
it
question.
was when Arlene was a freshman at Southern.
Okay.
And so that's when, that was our first date.
Mm.
We went to one of my best friends
Mm-hmm.
is my brother-in-law that got married to Arlene's twin sister.
Oh,
And so we had a double date.
I see.
So that
Wow.
was, that was the first
Yeah, to
date.
my recollection, that would probably nail it.
Cool. Awesome. All right, so advice. If you could say to people something that they would remember that you want to impact, what would that be?
Well, you know,
As far as
Dustin,
a marriage,
anything.
Anything.
Probably. I think I heard this said once, and it was an impactful statement to help others. And if you help one person, that may not change the world, but helping that person may change their world.
Yeah.
And you know, you can look around each and every day and you can see where that would be very impactful.
Mm-hmm.
It may not seem like it was a huge effort, but in their eyes, it is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah,
Kinda-
that's great advice.
I think you do that a
you
lot.
You don't have to do much,
No.
but just being helpful. It's well, it puts pride in yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, the impact on particular things, they're not going to be any of them are going to be the same, but there's always an impact,
Yes.
one way or the other.
Right. That is true. So how did you guys get to school? You lived in the country. You lived in the country also?
Country, yes.
What did your parents do?
They were farmers.
They were farmers
Yeah,
also.
yes.
Okay. You know, it's interesting to me because I did not grow up in a small town, farm town. I grew up with my dad was a college professor. My mother stayed home until they got divorced and she went to work. She had gone to college also. So finding out about farming when, you know, we were little, how much it's changed. But finding out about farming in general for me is very interesting because it's a totally different upbringing than what I experienced. And I'm enjoying all the stories that I'm hearing about that because most of the people that I've talked to, their parents were farmers because that's what
That's
this area is. So,
And how did we get to school? Well, you know, the old cliche of walking uphill both ways. But we generally walked. I was thinking about this, strangely enough, the other day as to, you know, the winters were horrible back then. And I remember our car didn't start that particular morning because of the cold temperatures. So we jumped on a hay rack that Dad had connected to his tractor. And we jumped on board and he took us to school, which was a couple miles down the road, but it was too cold for us to walk. So
right.
that was our Uber that particular morning.
Yeah.
And I'm sure nobody thought a thing of it. Had that happened today, it would have been a whole different
Yeah.
view.
Right. What about you, Al? How'd you get to school?
my venture was we walked most of the time.
Yeah.
It was a half mile
Okay.
to the school, to the country school.
Yeah, I walked also to school.
Yeah, and I had a sister that's 8 years older than I am, and a brother that's 6 years older than I am. And I was the spoiled brat.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Explains a
they
lot.
Now we know, right?
So they
That's-
took me to school, which only lasted that particular country school. It lasted for me 2 years, kindergarten and then first grade,
Okay.
and then it closed. So then that was to drive, ride to trip
Mm-hmm.
to school.
Okay.
I might add that, of course, I went to a country school, which is no longer on the map. And then I went to Delmont High School, and that's been closed for
Mm-hmm.
several years. Then, of course, Southern, which became the campus for inmates. And so I'm holding real firmly onto USD, where I got my master's, because that's
That's still open.
my final view of my
Right.
education.
Right. What'd you get your degree in?
Elementary education.
Cool. Al, did you graduate from Southern in what?
Physical education.
Okay. Wow. So what did I know you taught.
I did.
What did you do?
I didn't use any of that. One of the things that I was going to do was get into business with Arlene's brother,
Okay.
and he was an owner of a plumbing company, in Yankton here.
Mhm.
And so our thoughts were to my going to heating and cooling,
Okay.
totally, different than
Mhm.
what and so I started that, and I got involved with Alan, which is Arlene's brother.
We have to make sure we separate
Yeah, that's what I
the
said.
facts here.
And so I started the heating and cooling sheet metal department there. And then they hooked up with another fellow that I had known that was excellent in sheet metal. Then I worked with him, with this fellow. And I took evening courses that he taught me to for sheet metal
Wow.
making fittings, etc.
Mhm.
And so that's what I didn't use my college education,
Yeah.
and I was chasing a lady, and so I didn't have time to go to school very well.
Right. Right.
So that's
So how long did you date before you married?
Let me think. Probably about 6 years.
that sounds about right. 5-6 years.
And what month did you get married?
December 26th.
I see.
Yeah.
So
Strange.
I don't know. I've met a lot of people that have gotten married in the winter months.
Except our situation was working around work and school. So I
Mhm.
was teaching, so Christmas break seemed logical, and then Alan was finishing college, so that fit into his Christmas break too.
All right.
We do have how do I want to phrase this? We wish we would have done it a little differently, in that Alan's brother was in Vietnam at the time.
Oh.
And at the time we thought it'll be okay, he understands, and this fits our schedule. Do we want to wait another several months? Which we didn't. And we kind of look back at that as feeling guilty that we didn't wait for him to come home. And he came home safely.
Good.
And so we're thankful, of course, for that. And then Alan's dad decided, well, Lloyd's not here for the wedding, so we'll tape it. We'll tape the wedding, and then Lloyd at least has that part of it. And so it came time, Lloyd was home, and came time for him to view the wedding. And VCRs were the technology of the time. And so Alan's dad threw the tape into the VCR to find out that he had taped over the wedding with their German singing group. It did not sound like Ted and Jennifer singing group at all.
Not a good move.
So
we had worked hard at trying to make it work, but in the end it didn't come to fruition.
yeah, wow.
Yeah.
What color were your bridesmaids' dresses?
Velvet red.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I bet that was a special. Did it snow? Was there snow on the ground?
lots.
Lots
There
of
was a lot of snow.
I see.
Yes. And yeah, matter of fact, that same night as our wedding, we had gone to the farm to pick up our suitcases, which were in the driveway. We got stuck
I see.
to a point. I had my suit and etc. on and overcoat. I had to go walk into the farm yard, which we had a quarter mile, and grab the loader and chain and pull our car out.
Oh no.
So that was wasn't quite a honeymoon, but
Yeah. Wow.
beginning of one probably.
Wow.
But yeah, that was lots of snow.
Did you go on a honeymoon?
5 years ago.
Okay.
And actually, on that note, kind of reflecting to Lloyd not being able to attend the wedding because he was in Vietnam, Alan carried this guilt with him for all these years, and so we decided to invite them to join us when we went to the Dominican this last
Oh.
December,
Okay.
because that was our intent to take our kids to for our 50th, and so we invited them to join us as well.
It's a beautiful place. I love going there.
Yeah.
Love going there.
But you need to add too, so as we got on our way then, having been pulled out of the driveway with the tractor, then we continued on our way to Yankton, and I'm not sure if it was Highway 25 or what, but we came across a stranded driver due to vehicle issues, and so we picked him up and took him back into Scotland, I believe was where he needed to go.
What a wedding night.
So we did help one person.
Yeah.
It didn't affect the world, but might have affected his world.
Wow. Well, definitely affected his world. Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
You need to get that? No. Okay.
Well,
All right. So, what's your favorite time of year? Why? Why is it?
I used to enjoy spring,
Yeah.
but I've gone toward fall now. Just I don't enjoy the plants dying and leaves dropping from the trees, but it's just pretty majestic when you see all the lovely colors.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to, weather-wise, seems to be more pleasant, avoiding the spring winds, and
Mm-hmm.
of course that seems to be pretty dominant no matter what season
Right.
anymore.
Right. Yeah. What about you?
Probably past summer, September,
Oh, okay.
October type thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do enjoy summer, which is, yeah, probably. Don't really enjoy winter anymore here. I used to. Cold never used to bother me.
But then you wouldn't be able to ride your snow tractor.
Well, anyway.
Yes. Yes. All right. So, when you were a kiddo, since you both lived on the farms, I imagine that you did your normal farming chores around your farm. Anything in particular that you remember doing that stuck out for one reason or another?
Well, we were very involved in all the farm work. I guess one incident that comes to my mind was as the late fall season came around, my mother had chickens. And so you culled the chickens, moved the old ones into another coop, and prepared space for the younger chickens. And there were several events where we were doing this during a blizzard, where we were by hand taking chickens from one coop to the next. And I can't for the life of me remember why that was so pertinent for us to have done it during the snowstorm, but there we were hauling chickens across snowbanks from one coop to the next, and so forth. But yeah, we were very involved with field work, and
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I'm not sure that I had a favorite time of year for farming. At the time, I wasn't convinced that I was going to be a farm girl when I grew up. Now it wouldn't be such a hardship, but you know, farming is a tough job.
It is a tough job.
Yeah, it's a tough job.
Absolutely.
I was involved in chores. We basically were cattle,
Mm-hmm.
and so I would have to help with chores every night, with feeding,
Mm-hmm.
different things, different lots, etc. with cattle.
So, as someone that grew up on a farm with that kind of thing, did that allow you to do any activities at school activities? Were you involved in sports at all, or?
I was, I didn't do much. Well, I did, I played football
Okay.
and was a cheerleader on the basketball team. No, not really. I went to all the games. But,
No pom-poms or
no,
anything like
no.
that.
And I was out for track until I was a junior or whatever. Then I didn't go out. But yeah, it wasn't a problem. It wasn't a problem. As
Okay.
far as his letting, or mom didn't say anything. But yeah, it was okay. I could do whatever I wanted. So, but yeah, every day it was chore time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In the mornings, not so much, but in the evenings,
Mhm.
yeah.
In my high school, there wasn't any organized girls' athletics.
Mhm.
Although I ran track, which was, again, not, well, it was a competitive, but it was pretty loose compared to what happens these days.
Mhm. Right.
Yeah, no basketball teams for girls at that point.
Okay.
So, and we were pretty discouraged to stay too late at school because there were things to do at home. When you lived on the farm,
Yes.
you were to be there.
Yeah. Right.
You knew your assignment.
Right. So, do you remember your grandparents? Did your grandparents live around you? How much involvement did you have with them? What they do? What did they living for a living?
My paternal grandmother, I knew. My paternal grandfather passed away before we were born, and she lived on a farm with one of her sons. And my clear memory of Grandma was that she always enjoyed making egg drop soup,
Oh wow!
and that was not one of my favorites. So when we go to visit her on a Sunday, and she insisted that we stay for supper, and I just knew that egg drop soup is going to show up on the table. Sure as heck, there it was. And so, but she was a hardworking lady. You knew that she was into the farming as much as anyone else on the farm. Had an outdoor cellar that she always kept all of her canned goods in, which was kind of a novelty, although we had something similar on our farm, but not to her extent. But that, and she enjoyed having the pink mints around just in case somebody needed a mint. Always had the pink mints.
Oh.
My other grandmother had the circus candy, which to this day I can hardly look at them passing through the grocery store because they're just not my fave.
Wow.
And she was a kolache maker too, so when we
Oh.
went to her house, she had the kolaches.
So what's their ancestry?
Check.
Check.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
100% check.
Oh wow. Wow.
But I've not made kolaches.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Yet.
Well, there might be a day.
Maybe.
Maybe. Have to be a blizzard, I think, that'll bring that on.
My paternal grandparents both had passed before. I didn't know either one. My mom, the maternal, lived in Scotland, and we would go there periodically. They were both healthy, and Grandma had a great garden, which the grandkids would attack.
The peas.
And tomatoes, and so my grandpa lived to be 94 and worked till about 90 walking every day to the landfill.
Oh,
Every day, back and forth, every day. And Grandma didn't work outside of the house, but yeah, they're good people. Grandma always, she had potato chips, and always on the other bowl was popcorn,
oh,
all the time.
wow.
So we were off to Grandma's a lot.
I bet.
Yeah.
Nice. Funny how we remember different things, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. What's your
German,
German? Okay.
and about that much Russian.
Okay. Wow. Interesting, interesting. So something in your life that changed you.
Oh, that's a hard one.
Positive or negative? You know, can be both.
Mine was my wife.
I think that's a positive.
It is
We don't want to go any further, do we?
totally. She flipped my world. I was pretty rampant in my activity in high school and well, I don't know. It was. I met her in high school, so I don't know what it was after that. But it was, it was. I was. I think so. I think the dust is finally starting to settle from Trip. But yeah, Arlene was my changeover.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, now Dusty, you're looking at me like, what's my piece
Well, I
to
think
the
you
puzzle?
talked a little bit about it with looking back at you know, wishing that you would have waited to get married.
That, yeah.
Oh,
And
that
I-
was just timing, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But still, reflecting on it, it changed how you do things today, I think.
Yeah, I guess, living on the farm, having a work ethic was instilled in us.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, I guess that's what would probably be important. If you're going to do something, do it right.
Mm-hmm.
And if you make a mistake, learn from it to move forward.
Yeah.
Don't look into the rear view mirror too often.
Okay, so what is something that people don't know about you that would surprise them?
I may have shared mine earlier with having an identical twin.
Okay.
I gave that some thought, knowing that you had asked that question to other folks, and probably the bottom line is I swim like a rock.
Oh my goodness.
I tried swimming when we were in the Dominican, and my daughters finally said, "Mom, let's put you back on the boat."
Oh my.
Mine was probably, and I did also share that. That what don't know about me. I don't know if I guess the thing is I've messed up with a variety of different things that I probably should have done or had the opportunity to do that. And one of the things is that I was to take over the farming operation.
Oh.
And that was not shared between my dad and I, and it was not shared. So that probably was, but I knew one of the things, knowing Arlene at that time, she was not interested in a farm.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was the total. I had to move to Yankton if we were to make this marriage work.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's.
And I think it worked out pretty well. I
actually
think it did.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Anything else that you want to share? Reflection wise, maybe about the church, what's impacted you the most about being a member of UCC?
I guess the thought that comes to my mind is to be a part of the church is more than attending on Sunday mornings. It's so clear in our minds that once you become a part of a team or a board and you get to know those people, they become a church family,
Mm-hmm.
and it has a lot of deep meaning to have that relationship. So becoming involved is something that I think is just very important.
Mm-hmm. And you do that.
We try.
Yeah.
We try.
Yeah, we both do.
Yeah, you both
Yeah,
do.
I do some things too, and so yeah, it gives you. I guess one of the things it gives you pride of accomplishments of particular things that you do, helpful in different areas, and so as a result, yeah, we have I think a wonderful family of church
Mm-hmm.
friends,
Mm-hmm.
and they are family.
Yeah. I feel the same way.
Yeah,
So important.
yeah, we enjoy our church.
That's a good thing. Well, thank you both for sharing your birthday
You're very welcome.
and just who you are. It's so fun. I don't think we get this opportunity as much as we should anymore with lives being as busy as they are. So thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for asking us.
You bet.